Review fraction subtraction. As in fraction addition, we need to have the same denominator in order to make a fraction subtraction. And it's very important for us to remember only to subtract numerators and the denominators will stay the same. So we are going to see some examples of fraction subtraction. Let's see. First one. If we have two fractions with the same denominator, maybe 5/3 less or minus 2/3, then what we need to do in this case, we have the same denominator, so we can do the fraction subtraction. We will get thirds in our answer. Remember, if we are adding thirds, our answer will be thirds. So here also, if we are subtracting thirds, our answer will be thirds. In this case, we will subtract the numerator, sorry, 5 less 2 or minus 2, we will get 3/3. 3/3, it's only 1 whole. So this is the first case. Let's see another example. If we have like maybe, I don't know, 1/4 minus 3/4. In this case, when we have a fraction subtraction, we need to see when we have the same denominator, which one of the numbers is bigger. If the bigger number is the one that it's negative, our final answer will be negative. In this case, we will get only minus 2/4. We can like simplify that part if we like divide both terms by 2. We will get minus 1/2, and that it's going to be our final answer. So let's see another exercise. Imagine we have, I don't know, maybe 5/2 minus, let me see, 3/4. So this one is a little different because we have different denominators. The first stuff is to look for the same denominator. In this case, we can do it by mind. We will convert these fractions into fourths. The second one is already fourths or quarters, so we can stay like that. The first one, number 2, gets multiplied by 2 to get a 4. So 5 get also multiplied by 2, we will get 10/4. Then we can subtract these ones. Remember, our answer will be fourths. In this case, or quarters, in this case, 10 is bigger than 3, so the answer will be positive. We will have 7/4 or 7/4. This fraction cannot be simplified because 7 is a prime number, so that is going to be our final answer. So let's see another example. Maybe we have, I don't know, maybe 5/6 less or minus, let me see, 9/8. In this case, remember, the first thing we need to do maybe it's the prime factorization of the numbers to obtain the least common denominator. So to obtain the least common denominator between 6 and 8, we can do the prime factorization. We continue with 2. We continue with 2. We will have finished this part. Then we use 3. And we have finished. So our least common denominator in this case, it's 8 times 3, that's 24. So we will transform these fractions to 24. So in this case, 6 times 4, it's 24. So 5 times 4, it's 20. 8 times 3, it's 24. So 9 times 3, it's 27. So in this case, The one that it's bigger, it's the negative one, minus 27. So our final answer, I will copy the exercise here, 20 over 24 minus 27 over 24. So we will have as a final answer a negative 7 over 24. Then we need to see if the fraction is simplifiable. In this case, it's not a simplifiable fraction because 7 it's a prime number and 24 is not divisible by 7. So this is going to be our final answer. Let's see some other examples. So let's try something with bigger denominators. It's the same process, but it can be a little more tricky. So let's see. In this case, we need to look for the least common denominator between 24 and 16. So we can start doing it dividing by 2. Then we can divide also by 2. Then continue with 2. Then another time 2. And finally with 3. If we do this multiplication, we will get the least common denominator. In this case, 16 times 3. We will get 48. So we need to transform this fraction to 48s. In this case, maybe 16 it's multiplied by 3 to get 48. So 7 it's also multiplied by 3. We will get 21 here. In the other case, 24 it's multiplied by 2 to get 48. 11 multiplied by 2, we will get 22. So we can do now the subtraction. Remember always that the denominator won't change. So our final answer will be 48. Then we need to see if our answer will be positive or negative. In this case, the positive number 22 is bigger than 21, that it's a negative one. So our answer will be positive. In this case, 22 minus 21, it's only 148 or 1 over 48. So this will be our final answer. Let's see another example. In this case, we have first the negative fraction and then the positive fraction. Don't worry, it's the same process. We can do it as always. We need to look for the least common denominator. In this case, 9 and 5. We can start with 3. We will get 3. 3, 1. And 5, we will get 1. So in this case, the least common denominator is 45. So we need to transform these fractions to 45s. So we will see 9, it's multiplied by 5 to get 45. So also 8 is going to be multiplied by 5. We will get 40 over 45. In this case, 5 is multiplied by 9. Then 7 gets also multiplied by 9. We will get 63. Then we can copy this. Minus 40 over 45 plus 63 over 45. So in this case also, the bigger number, it's the positive number. So our final answer will be positive and it will be 45s or over 45. 63 less or minus 40, we will get 23 over 45. We need to see if this fraction is simplifiable. In this case, not, because 23 it's a prime number. 45 it's not divisible by 23. So this will be our final answer of this process. Let's see some other example. What happens then when we have both fractions with the sign minus? It doesn't change the process because we can do it. Let's see what we need to do. The process will be very similar. we need to find the least common denominator, in this case between 12 and 8. We can start dividing by 2. We will get 6 here and 4 here. We can continue dividing by 2. We will get 3 and 2. We can continue with 2. We will get 1 and 3. Then we will use 3. So our least common denominator will be 8 times 3, that's 24. So we need to change fractions to 24. Both of them will be negative. In this case, 12. It's multiplied by 2 to get 24. So 7, it's also multiplied by 2. We will get 14. 8, it's 3 times multiplied to get 24. So 5 gets also multiplied by 3. We will get 15. So we will copy this exercise. 14 over 24 less or minus 15 over 24. In this case, because the two fractions are negative, our answer will be negative. We will also have over 24. Remember, the denominator doesn't change. In this case, we have 14 negatives and 15 negatives, so the answer will be negative. If we have minus 14 and minus 15, we will get minus 29. In total, we will have 29 negative. So in this case, our answer will be minus 29 over 24. Remember, when we subtract or add, in this case, because we are adding two negative numbers, we will get a negative number, and in this case it will be minus 29 over 24. Then what happens when we have mixed numbers? Don't worry, remember we have used mixed numbers in fraction addition. In fraction subtraction will be a very similar way. The first thing we need to do, or that we can do, is like transform them into an improper fraction. Remember, in this case denominator gets multiplied by the whole, and then we will add the numerator. We will have all the same denominator. 4. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 3 is 23 over 4, minus, we will get 3s or thirds, 3 multiplied by 2, and we will add number 1, so we will get 7 thirds. Then we have a problem of the subtraction of two fractions, so we will need to find the least common denominator. In this case, between 4 and 3, we can do it mentally. It's 12. So we can like transform our fractions into 12s. In this case, 4, it's multiplied by 3 to get 12. 23 needs to also be multiplied by 3. We will get 69 over 12. Then 3 gets multiplied by 4 to get 12. So it's the same. 7 times 4. It's 28. So let's see. 69 over 12 minus 28 over 12. So we need to subtract this one. 69 minus 28. Remember, our bigger number in this case is positive, so our final answer will be positive. So let's see. We need to subtract this part. We will get 41 over 12. Then we need to see if the fraction is simplifiable. In this case, it's not a simplifiable fraction, so this is going to be our final answer. Let's see another example. So let's see another example with mixed numbers. So remember, the first thing we need to do is transform them to improper fractions. In this case, we will get fraction over 9. 9 times 5, it's 45, plus 7 will be 52 ninths, or over 9. In this case, 3 times 3, it's 9, plus 2. it's 11 over 3, or 11 thirds. In this case, we need to transform the fraction to have the least common denominator, or the same denominator, in this case between 9 and 3. We can do it by mind, but if we do it, it's gonna be like this. It will be 9. So the first fraction can stay the same, 52 over 9. The second fraction, we can convert it. Then 3, it's multiplied by 3 to get 9. So 11, it's also multiplied by 3, and we will get 33. So in this case, we will get, I will copy the exercise, 52 over 9 minus 33 over 9. So let's see, 52 less 33. We will get the positive, it's bigger, so we will get a positive answer. It's 19 over 9. Remember, 19 it's a prime number, and 9 it's also divisible by 3, so that will be our final answer. Let's see another example. What happens if we get like 3 fractions, the 3 of them are negative? In this case, we can do it as we did it with the 3 fractions added. So the first step is to look for the least common denominator, in this case between 3 numbers, 5, 9, and 15. So we can start doing the prime factorization, in this case 3. We will get 3 and 5. We continue with number 3, we will get 1. We have finished that part. Then continue with 5. We have finished this part, so our least common denominator will be 45. So we need to transform all our fractions to 45. Remember, they will stay negative. So in this case, all of them over 45. 5 to get 45, it's multiplied by 9, so 7. It's also multiplied by 9, we will get 9 times 7 is 63. 9 gets multiplied by 5 to get 45. 8 gets also multiplied by 5, we will get 40. 15, it's multiplied by 3 to get 45. Then 11 gets multiplied also by 3, we will get 33. So I will copy the exercise, in this case negative 63 over 45 minus 40 over 45 minus 33 over 45. So in this case, we know that the actual result is going to be negative. It will be also divided, or it will be over 45. So we need to do it, we need to see how many we have of the negative numbers, in this case 63, 40, and 33. So we will get 6, 136 in this case. We will need to look if this fraction is simplifiable. But in this case, 136 and 45 doesn't have common numbers to divide, or divisible by the same number. So this will be our final answer. Negative or minus 136 over 45. Remember, you can left this and as an improper fraction. You can also like transform it to a mixed number. But in order of the common use, we can left it as an improper fraction. So this is some exercises of fraction subtraction. So you are ready to do now the activity that is due for today at 5 p.m.